Teacher as Innovator, a video interview on educational entrepreneurship.
And to all of you, my dear future educators. So before I may proceed answering question number 1 in your interview, I should have to give a sneak peek and a little background of myself. So I am Robert A. Hintika. I'm 31 years of age, and I do have my pseudonym in school as Miss G. So some of my students and even my colleagues address me that one. I am a teacher 3. Now I have that designation on myself, and fortunately be able to be teacher 6 in a couple of months. Since I was able to pass the ranking process, I was able to be in RQA, or the registry of qualified applicants. So hopefully by next school year, I'll be in that position, the teacher 6. And also, not to brag myself, but with a humble utterance, every school year, I am a consistent, outstanding teacher, based on the evaluation given by our school head and also the validation from the revision office.
How long have you been teaching, and what inspired you to become a teacher?
I have been teaching for almost 11 years, since 2015. Currently, I am connected to DepEd City of Naga, particularly teaching at Placido L. Senior National High School in Langtad City of Naga, Cebu. There in our school, I handle English subject for grade 10 students. Aside from that, I am also a part-time instructor at Professional Academy of the Philippines. That school is located in South Poblacion City of Naga, Cebu. There, I handle all English major subjects for EDOC students, no major in English. So what inspired me to become a teacher was my passion and dedication to teaching. I've always wanted to inspire young minds and help them grow cognitively and skillfully. That's why I could say that teaching for me means or gives a sense of purpose and joy.
Okay, the second question is, what challenges have you encountered in your teaching journey?
So one of the challenges that I have faced as a teacher is handling students with diverse learning styles and behaviors. So some of the students have poor study habits and show little enthusiasm for learning English. Maybe because the reason behind was they are being distracted by technology. They are into social media right now. They're always playing ML, even during class hours. So that proximate reason leads them, or it has a great impact or effect on their skills in English, especially in grammar, their reading ability, as well as their comprehension skills. So aside from that, other reason or other challenge I may encounter was there are students who are quite boisterous in class, and that's very uncontrollable. So what I did, or what I should do, how am I going to address that one, is simply I should have to have an effective classroom management. I should also instill discipline to them, and probably I should have to give or to provide innovative and engaging teaching strategies for them to be interested in my class, and also for them to have a lifelong learning.
Can you describe an innovative strategy or project you introduce in your class?
So I utilize the project-based learning. At the same time, the multimodal presentations in my grade 10 English class. So if you want me to enumerate or to give you a concrete example, so these are the things I always do in my class. So first, I let my students be engaged or conduct a research study. So in my subject, I let them produce a research paper based on some educational issues that they'd like to tackle with, they'd like to address in. So aside from, upon making the research paper, I should have to let them do everything. They have to make from chapter 1 up to chapter 5. So if they could able to make it, the last the last part of it is for them to have or to do an oral defense. So aside from letting them have a research study or a research paper, I also let my students be engaged in a debate and also in an interview, just like what we do right now. Now, this is for them to build their self-confidence, at the same time to develop their interpersonal skills. Aside from it, I also utilize or I also introduce to my students the delivering different speeches, just like an advocacy speech. I let them have a spoken poetry presentation. At the same time, I let them be participative in role playing. So in doing all of these things, I could have an assurance on myself that my students could really learn, through this kind of approach.
Okay, more question. What inspired that innovation?
That innovation of mine was inspired by the philosophy of progressivism by John Dewey. That's learning by doing. So I always wanted my students to have learning through real experiences, not just plainly via textbook, the traditional one, the perennial approach. So that's it. I should let them do the discovery and have learning on their own.
Okay, the next question. What risk or challenges did you face when implementing it?
At first, it was challenging because it really needed time and effort. Maybe some of my students found it arduous, but with my consistent guidance, with my help, as stipulated in the theory of Lev Vygotsky, that's the zone of proximal development. As we go along, as we have the process, in doing the activity, they eventually enjoyed it, and they finally love doing it.
Okay, the next question. How did your students or school benefit from it?
Probably, my students became more engaged and confident in presenting their ideas creatively and innovatively. At the same time, this thing has brought positive recognition to our class and also, or even in our school.
Okay, so in connection to entrepreneurship, in what ways do you think being a teacher is similar to being an entrepreneur?
So being a teacher is as an entrepreneur, simply because both need to have, or both need creativity, initiative, and problem solving. So both the entrepreneurs and the teachers seek or want to have opportunities. At the same time, they should have to to find ways, not just to improve for themselves.
Okay, the next question. How do you create value for your students, school, or community through your teaching?
Okay, I create a value by helping the students learn not only the lessons but also the life skills. And also, I want to build a positive and inspiring environment in our school, just for my students and also for to cater the needs, their needs.
Okay,
I mean.
thank you. And what advice can you give to future teachers about being innovative and resourceful?
So the advice that I can give to you, my dear future teachers, is just to be creative, and to do the best, what you have on yourselves. So innovation doesn't only mean about using technology, yet it means learning. It means or making learning better in all possibilities and in our own simple ways.
How do your moral or faith-based values influence your innovation as a teacher?
So my faith reminds me to teach with love, honesty, and purpose. So I should have to have these qualities, as to teach my students, because I'd like to help them, learn a lot, not just having knowledge, academically, but also learning the lesson with morality. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
In my insight, through this activity, I gain a deeper understanding of how teachers embody the spirit of entrepreneurship in education. Teachers are not only facilitators of learning, but also innovators who continuously seek creative ways to address challenges in the classroom. By designing strategies that engage students and improve learning outcomes, they demonstrate initiative, risk-taking, and problem-solving, qualities essential to both teaching and entrepreneurship. The interview helped me to realize that innovation in teaching does not always require a big resources. It often begins with a teacher's willingness to adapt, experiment, and care for students' growth. I also learned that faith and values play an important role in shaping a teacher's motivation to serve others selflessly. Overall, this experience reminded me that being a teacher means being a lifelong learning, an innovator and servant leader dedicated to making a positive impact through education.
For me, this activity made me appreciate the connection between innovation and the vocation of teaching. I realized that teachers are true innovators because they constantly find new ways to make learning meaningful and relevant. Listening to the interview showed me how creativity, passion, and commitment can transform ordinary lessons into inspiring learning experiences. I also learned that being an innovative teacher requires courage to take risks and an open mind to accept changes for the sake of students' development. It taught me that entrepreneurship in education is not about profit, but about creating value, helping students grow in knowledge, skills, and character. Most of all, this experience reminded me that teaching is a service that touches lives, and innovation is one of the most powerful ways to make that service lasting and impactful.
Through this activity, I learned that teaching is not just about giving lessons, but about making a real difference in students' lives. I realized that teachers are like entrepreneurs because they always find new and better ways to make learning fun and effective. They use creativity, effort, and care to solve problems and meet their students' needs. I also discovered that innovations can start from small ideas like trying new teaching styles, using technology, or relating lessons to real life situations. This made me see how teachers use both their hearts and minds in teaching.
Through this activity and interview, I realized that teacher embody the spirit of entrepreneurship and education by being innovative, resourceful, and faith-driven lifelong learners who creatively address challenges, inspires growth, and make a positive impact through their dedication and moral values.
Through this activity, I realized that innovation in teaching is not just about using technology or new methods. It is about finding better ways to inspire and reach students. The teacher we interviewed showed that creativity, dedication, and genuine love for teaching can make a big difference in student learning experiences. I understood that teachers act like entrepreneurs when they design lessons that meet learners' needs, solve problems, and create value within the classroom. This experience also opened my eyes to the importance of continuous improvement and adaptability in education. A teacher's willingness to innovate reflects their desire to serve others and contribute to positive change. Overall, I learned that being a teacher means being a lifelong innovator, someone who uses both heart and mind to make education meaningful, transformative, and full of purpose.
As Mr. Hintika shared his knowledge, it helped me see teachers as innovators who creatively solve classroom challenges. I learned that true innovation starts with the teacher's willingness to adapt and care for students, not with the big resources. Faith and values also inspire teachers to solve selflessly. Overall, I realized that being a teacher means being a lifelong learner and a leader who makes a positive difference.
From this interview, I realized that being a teacher goes beyond delivering lessons. It is about being creative, resourceful, and brave enough to try new approaches that make learning more engaging and relevant. I learned that innovation can start from small but meaningful actions like using real life examples, creating interactive activities, or finding new ways to connect with students' needs. Teachers are like entrepreneurs because they identify problems, explore new ideas, and create value not through business but by shaping minds and building character. It amazes me how teachers can turn simple classroom moments into powerful learning experiences that inspire and motivate students to do their best. I also discovered that true innovation in teaching must always be guided by compassion, purpose, and strong values. As future educators, we are called to be edupreneurs, teachers who use creativity and passion to serve others, make learning purposeful, and transform lives. This experience reminded me that teaching is not just a profession, but a lifelong mission to make a difference. It inspired me to become a teacher who leads with both heart and innovation, helping students grow not only in knowledge but also in character and hope for the future.